Borderlands 2 is a game with infinite combinations of classes, guns, and other items, and even more ways to find them. You can rip them off the warm corpses of your victims. Need to take a dump? Have a gun. There's weapon chests, quest rewards, even bosses that bust their gun load all over your face. There's quite frankly too many items to use, but I don't want to be wasteful. So I used every item that ever dropped in my entire playthrough. So by leaving whatever my gun is up to chance, I need to be able to defend myself without a weapon. So we're playing the Psycho class, and this glorious being is Den Wiesel, a man that not only can tear living beings apart with his bare hands, but also completely sustain himself solely off of grilled cheese. A truly terrifying creature, which explains how he survives this train crash. And now that introductions are out of the way, let me clarify some rules. For starter, Den Wiesel does not need handouts, so we dump all these items. Secondly, while I'm fighting a moment a weapon, shield, class mod, or grenade mod drops, I need to pick it up and use it. That is if I can use it. Any class mods not for Psycho, I obviously cannot use. And any item too high of a level, I do not have to pick up. I can go to any store and purchase an item whenever I would like, but if something drops, I still have to dump it immediately, and this rule is basically the same for quests as well. When I open a weapon chest, I can only take a single item out of it, and the same applies if there's more than one item filling the same slot that is dropped on the ground. So I just need to pick up one. Finally, when fighting any bosses, I can keep my weapon for the entirety of the fight, even if something drops. This is just to prevent a rocket launcher from screwing me over. Now let's get back to Den Wiesel and his wonderful adventure. Ooh, see, he's doing tricks on it. After finally reaching Sanctuary with 0 casualties, of course, they told us we weren't allowed in unless we saved their friend and brought back a core for Sanctuary. And thankfully, Den Wiesel is an ex-Black Ops soldier, so this was easy enough. But somehow, in the last 5 minutes between here and here, Roland went missing, so now I have to go find him and rescue him from this mysterious figure called the Firehawk, who's famous for slaughtering people all around the world. And lucky for Roland, I have a plan. Because now we're past the tutorial, and this is where my 500 hours and years of being single come in handy. You see, if you just walk right around this corner, laying in this pond is a very good blue SMG called the Lasqua. I don't really know. Den Wiesel doesn't speak Italian. This is significant because with the Lasqua in hand, if you just run all the way to the Firehawk's lair, we find out it isn't a murderous psychopath, but worse, a woman. It's here we have to fight a ton of bandits, including badasses, which could have been tough if you aren't properly equipped, hence the Lasqua. What I didn't calculate was that they could still drop weapons. This is gonna be a long video. Den Wiesel still ended it with ease, like any self-respecting race car driving stuntman Black Ops soldier. And then afterwards, we learned that Roland was actually captured by the Bloodshots because he was a Kryptonite, and he was going to be sold off to Hyperion to have him executed because he knew too much about the treasures of this world, and Jack needed him out of his way. So to infiltrate the stronghold, we need 2 things. 1, a higher level and better equipment, because this mission, a damn fine rescue, is the hardest mission in the game, according to these 3 Reddit users, me and Panga. I hate it. I loathe this point in the game, which is crazy because it's only the 3rd mission. The second thing we need is a new car to blend in with the Bloodshots. We head out to the dust where Shamu agrees to build us a new one if we bring her the parts. So that's exactly what Den Wiesel did.
Father help! Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Now we just need to break this bad boy in. Den Wiesel! Oh yes, superb parking, Den Wiesel. Now that we're here, we must pop their volleyballs and burn their nets, which sounds easy enough until a bunch of shirtless men arrive, forcing Den Wiesel to his knees before finishing him off. So he ripped their spines out. With that matter set aside, we did one last job for Shamu before heading back to Sanctuary to rack up as much XP as possible before raiding the Bloodshots. So I assassinated this guy, but you see, Din Weasel actually hails from a long line of master assassins who excel in assassinating other assassins, because where's the fun in murder if there's no challenge? Am I right, Din Weasel? And finally naming a new species discovered on Pandora, because no man's complete without intelligence, and Din Weasel is the complete package. So with 3 more levels under my belt and a new car, we headed off to the Bloodshot Stronghold, where our newly acquired 100 stealth allowed us to sneak in without a hitch, and we ran straight across the drawbridge because object permanence never fully developed in the minds of the people of Pandora. And now officially inside, we have to start the biggest slog of the entire game. We have to fight room after room of bandits that just seemingly get stronger as you go, sprinkling in badasses and named enemies along the way. And the worst part is, since I've come into this mission despite my best efforts under-leveled, every enemy drop, weapon chest, or porta potty I open, every gun is too high of a level to equip, which means I'm stuck doing this amount of damage until I slaughter enough people just to naturally level up. Which doesn't sound insane until you think about the fact that levels don't really matter in Borderlands. Yes, they let you use better equipment, but I don't get to choose my equipment. What I can use is decided by the game, and I'm normally stuck with white tier trash because so many drop unless I'm blessed with a green, and blues are basically named enemy or quest reward exclusives, and just forget about a purple or orange. The only thing I can't control is my ability and the perks that come with it, which is why I pick Psycho, so even if my weapon sucks or I run out of ammo, I can still dish out some serious damage, because since the game is based on equipment and not stats, just having bad RNG before a big fight can literally determine if you win or not, which is exactly what happened in the Warden fight. I walked into the white rarity pea shooter, a grenade mod that has much explosive power as a water balloon, and a shield that protected me as much as paper can protect you from a bullet. I was just walking into this fight to be slaughtered for sport. Warden was yelling, "Pull!" and the Hyperion respawn beacon would spit me back out just to be shot again. That's when I remembered there was a chest on the far side of the room, and it was possibly my only hope, and there it was. A gift from the gods, a corrosive grenade mod, perfect for armored enemy types. Yeah, they escaped. So now we have to go chase them down to the jail cell where we slaughtered Warden for whatever reason. I guess the game just took one look at Din Weasel and saw his grilled cheese loving face and decided to cut the guy a break. But just like that, Roland was saved and we were heading back to Sanctuary for our next mission. We need to go meet our alcoholic sniper and preteen demolitions expert to get ready to hijack a train with the key to the vault on it. But first, we need to acquire the explosives, and lucky for us, Din Weasel is an expert tracker. With his extensive map knowledge, he's able to navigate through the bandits with ease, but he also may be a bit of a rule breaker, more of a loophole if you will, because he killed this guy with the chest and all of the guns were too high of a level, but while we were out acquiring explosives, he leveled up. And now that we're back, we get this nice purple AR right before the next big fight. Let me know if this is cheating in the comments. Now strapped to the new Blicky and committing terrorist activities, we charged straight past every enemy, not risking the chance of a new item to drop because we had the perfect loadout. Not only a powerful AR, but also a corrosive cloud grenade that deals continuous super effective damage as long as he stands within the radius. And lucky for us, Wilhelm also loves grilled cheese, making it one of the easiest boss fights in the entire game. Unfortunately, there was no vault key in sight, but there was a new core, so I popped that right into Sanctuary Shield and poof. Jack said, "Let's make Pandora great again," and bombed the shit out of the shanty town full of outlaws. Lilith didn't really like the fact that I ruined her shield and she kicked me out. In feeling bad over Din Weasel's single mistake he's ever made in his entire life, he wanted to apologize. We set out to figure out how to make it back, and luckily our AIE girlfriend Angel wants to help us out and informs me that we need a fast travel beacon, that there was one nearby.
Did that thresher just eat the beacon?
I shit you not, this thrasher was thrashing my asshole. I could not kill this thing no matter how many times I charged at it. I eventually gave up and went to do other side quests I could find to level up, but most of them were in Sanctuary, which we were currently unavailable to go to. And even the quests I could still do, I needed to turn in on Sanctuary. We were basically stuck at our current level unless I wanted to farm mobs for an entire level. Then I remembered the wise words I once said 2 minutes ago. Levels don't matter, it's the equipment. So I set out to find a new weapon that could slay the beast, and a corrosive SMG was not it. The bandit pistol didn't help. This rocket launcher didn't work. Then it hit me. Per the rules, I can buy items from the store. So I saved and quit and reloaded my game until I found a decent weapon. I ended up getting this green Vladov machine gun and a Tesla grenade. And words cannot even begin to describe the greatness of these grenades. So we marched straight into the mini boss fight, let me emphasize that, and slaughtered it with zero remorse, getting a little too excited.
Oh my god, I got lightheaded.
These grenades were so good, it didn't even matter what weapons dropped for the rest of the mission. We just cruised through the remainder, electrocuting, shooting, and cutting down robots until we finally made it back to the sanctuary and properly apologized to Lilith. Now with access to all of these side quests, it's time to grind some levels, but it's just another day for Din Wiesel's extravagant life. He's a treasure hunter, a clan warmonger, Irish car bomber, arsonist, ladies man and drunk, and finally to top it all off, a wake crasher. Now let's go break into a wildlife preservation. And quite frankly, it was a breeze, and you might think it's because I caught up in levels, but really I just have the same Tesla grenade carrying me through the game. I pushed straight through all the way to the next boss, Bloodwing, except there's a problem now. Bloodwing is a bird. And Tesla grenades sit on the ground, so we'll have to do this whole fight with just our gun. Is what I would have said if the pterodactyl-sized tub of lard didn't land. Some may call this comment insensitive due to the end result of the fight. All I got to say is that Siren superiority, losers. Now back with the technology to break into Jack's lair, we need the manpower to do it. So we need to go recruit the Slab King and his lackeys, but he likes to test his future allies. So we have to win an arena fight against his best men. But Din Wiesel has a long list of titles, including grilled cheese loving, race car driving, stuntman, black ops member, master assassin, scientist, level 100 stealth man, expert tracker, terrorist, treasure hunter, warmonger, Irish car bomber, arsonist, ladies man, drunk, weight crasher, but not excluding rule breaker. So we just sneak up behind them because object permanence doesn't exist on Pandora and murder them all from behind with our mighty Tesla grenade. And now it's over because Din Wiesel has the high ground, and let the level disadvantage be damned as we mercilessly kill all of the men we're trying to recruit to help us, which kind of seems counterintuitive if you ask me, but Din Wiesel does not ask questions, orders are only executed to perfection. Now that I've murdered all the men willing to help, Brick agrees to assist, so now we need the passkeys to the final door, but first we need to free some animals from their torture pens. Even Vin Diesel has a soft spot for animals. But jolly ho, off to kill Jack's double we go. Conveniently, assassinations is one of Din Wiesel's numerous occupations. Then we have our AI e-girlfriend replicate Jack's voice for us. But when in Rome, do as Romans do, or in case, when an opportunity, do as Jack does. So we destroyed all of his stuff, blew up his dam, and murdered his workers and created a smear campaign. But even doing all these side jobs as well, this wasn't going to be enough to take on the next mission, where angels fear to tread. This is easily the highest difficulty jump between missions in this game, and it's finished off with a monstrous boss fight and a kill room, so need to be prepared for it's an understatement, because if I would make it all the way to the boss fight and think I can't do it, need to leave to level up or get new weapons, I would have to fight my way back up the mountain all over again. So we prepared as much as possible by becoming a poet, a matchmaker, a deck collector, a weapons tester, a xenophile, animal rights activist, and surgeon. But despite all of this, we still weren't ready for the challenge. So we used the tried and true method and saved and quit until I got what I wanted. And like we learned in previously on a damn fine rescue, since we are under leveled, nothing should drop until we reach the recommended mission level, allowing us to use our new explosive AR and corrosive grenade as long as possible. And our strategy was working beautifully until it wasn't. We had made it all the way to the top when an enemy dropped 2 items, an SMG and an electric grenade. But we've made it so far, it'd be such a shame to turn back now, so we pushed forward. And to my surprise, it was actually going surprisingly well until the problem I had feared this entire run finally came true. The biggest glaring issue with this challenge is the limited number of tools we can use to deal damage, mostly our one gun. What happens if you run out of ammo in that one gun? What do you do then? Well, that's why I picked the Psycho in case this did happen, but I can't rely on my ability for a third of a boss's health bar that's flying around when I'm a melee character. So I scoured the map looking for ammo, but it was only looking grimmer and grimmer. When all hope seemed lost, a blessing was bestowed upon my humble soul. Not only a weapon, but a corrosive sniper at that. Now it's time to finish this fight.
No way!
We may have fallen, but Din Weasel does not give up. We refilled our ammo and marched straight up there. With just 6 grenades and 48 sniper rounds, the bunker was sitting at half health again. We ran into the same issue. Luckily, we were able to find another SMG, but we actually didn't replenish our SMG bullet reserves. But it stretched far enough for us to get another level, which we actually used to be able to open a chest in the back of the boss room, which had a corrosive pistol sitting in it. It was as if the gods were watching their favorite human, giving him the tools for success, cheering him on until the end of the bunker fight. And now with a huge selection and knowing what comes next, we picked the best equipment, another corrosive pistol and an all-around better shield, and we went straight downstairs where I found out that my AIE girlfriend wasn't actually AI, but Jack's daughter. So I killed her, and Jack didn't really like the fact that I murdered his daughter in cold blood and put a hole in Roland's chest and slapped a dog collar on Lilith, telling her to bark for daddy. This really pissed Din Weasel off, so he murdered this guy to cool off and headed off to get Lilith back, but the bridge was up, so we had to go get some buzzards to blow it up with, which was simple enough because if you just kill everybody, they're free to take. And with our new buzzards, we flew them into the bridge to lower it. Is that a second one? Now we're entering the end game. There's only 2 missions remaining, data mining and the Talon of God. And each of these missions have huge obstacles to overcome, one being a giant boss built like a bullet sponge, and the other one being a huge area you have to fight through just to reach the final boss, like where angels fear to tread. So we set out to raise our levels one last time by robbing a bank, blowing up a train, killing the sheriff, which is actually Jack's girlfriend, and he was devastated.
Wait, did you actually just kill my girlfriend? That's kind of pissing me off.
Solved the puzzle to find some blueprints, read Jack's diaries, built a gun, called the hotline instead of jumping, collected some accidental refunds from Marcus, and killed the guys that killed Jack's grandma, so he didn't have to pay them. All of that for 3 whole levels. But along the way, with all the new titles Din Weasel collected, there was another thing we were hiding from you. He's actually giga-brained. You see, when turning all these missions in, we made sure the last mission we turned in was actually going to have us hitting level 28, the same level as the quest itself and the correlating reward, giving us a monstrous blue AR that was like shooting a semi-auto railgun, and of course, we made sure to have a corrosive cloud grenade we picked up along the way. And just like that, with precision planning, we were able to clear Saturn with ease. It took a long time, but it was an easy long time. And with the first obstacle cleared, we ran straight to the objective and got the map that leads us to the vault and headed that way. Now here comes the next big hurdle, fighting through Heroes Pass. We are under-leveled slightly, but the bigger problem is running through this entire area isn't an option. There are a lot of points that require you to stop and kill a certain number of enemies before you can move on, meaning we can't guarantee any items that we bring in here will end up having at the end of this run. But just as we were nearing the end, something dropped. A slag grenade and an explosive green AR. And these 2 items I knew would be good, so I had to run for the door, but it wasn't easy. We couldn't kill anything with fear of anything else dropping at this point, so we went down repeatedly, but each and every time Din Weasel got up, because he's a winner. And we finally made it with our keys to success. And the slag grenade is significant because if you can get Jack slagged and hit him with the buzz axe, it's like slapping him with a nuclear explosion. And we did die, but Din Weasel understands it now and ripped him limb from limb the very next attempt, leaving only the warrior. And I wasn't sure if our Torque rifle was going to cut it because it wasn't doing much on Jack, but it was ripping the chest of the warrior open. Whenever that happens, it has to retreat underground and reset. But we were doing it so fast, it only got 1 or 2 attacks each turn, almost making it a version of a stun lock and making the warrior fight look just like the Wilhelm fight, ending it on my very first attempt. And just to make sure, I did what any good American would do, and bombed it, ensuring death. And just like that, Din Weasel's not only a grilled cheese loving race car driving stuntman, Black Ops member, master assassin, scientist, level 100 stealth, expert tracker, rule breaker, terrorist, treasure hunter, warmonger, Irish car bomber, arsonist, ladies man, and drunk, weight crasher, animal rights activist, poet, matchmaker, debt collector, weapons tester, xenophile, surgeon, stubborn mule, God's favorite human, hot-headed, bank robber, desperado, outlaw, puzzle enthusiast, snoop, engineer, mental health advocate, avenger, Ginga Braid, and a winner. But he can now add Vault Hunter to his list of achievements. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe if you did. These videos take a lot to make, so seeing the love on them really does mean a lot. And while you're here, just go ahead and watch one of these while you're at it.